And welcome back to the OSR videos, everyone. Today's video is something that I've been looking forward to for an extremely long time. Some of this stuff I've been planning back since the beginning of this year. But basically today we're going to be going through the LUNCHMONEY Civic's interior, and we're going to be adding some stuff, cleaning up some stuff, adding some safety bits, a whole bunch of stuff. And the goal basically is to cut down on road noise, make the sound system better. We're going to be adding some safety items, but we're just going to be making it a nicer place to be. And there's going to be a lot of custom work, there's going to be a lot of aftermarket stuff, but I can't tell you guys how excited I am for this video. Like, I've been wanting this stuff for so long. I'm tired of not having interior, I'm tired of not having door panels, I'm tired of having a subpar sound system, like I'm tired of it just looking like crap. So basically we're going to get into it and get this stuff done. So I picked up some plywood and some black felt. This is going to act as our rear seat delete kit. And then we got some grip tape that's going to replace the rubber pedal pads, just so my feet aren't sliding around when it's wet out. Picked up a wink mirror because my factory mirror will actually fall down regularly and I have to keep readjusting it. It's really annoying, but that's actually pretty common with EKs. And these wink mirrors, I think they were designed for golf carts, but I see a lot of guys using them on race cars. And what's cool about them is they have like 5 different panels, but they're all at different angles, so you can see a really wide angle behind you. I picked up some 6-inch Rockford Fosgate speakers. We got the old center console with the custom shift boot. We got 1/2-inch steering wheel spacer. And that leads me into my 3 items that I'm most excited about. We got a 5-point Simpson harness for the passenger side to match the driver's side. And then we have a holdfast casino wheel that I'm really excited about. I've been wanting one of these for a while. I really like the 2-spoke design on them. And this one appears to have a crazy dish on it. Check that out. So, also, the fit and finish on it looks really nice. I'm not gonna lie, my first wheel, it was good, but the fit and finish left a lot to be desired, whereas this one is like on point. Like, can't really zoom in with the GoPro, but it's really nice. And also I like that it has a deeper dish because I like the steering wheel as close to me as possible. That's also why I picked up this spacer. That's honestly the only reason I'm running the NRG quick release. I don't need it, maybe I will now, but I didn't get it because I needed it. I got it just to move the steering wheel closer. And then if you guys know anything about LRB Speed, you guys will know they make incredible products. We picked up some of their door panels, but honestly they make everything. They started just recently making products for F-bodies. But go check them out because they make a lot of JDM stuff. They probably make parts for your car if you have something that has a pretty decent aftermarket. So I'm more than excited for these. I'm tired of not having door panels, but I didn't want to put the factory ones back on just because they intrude into the driver's compartment a lot. They're super thick, whereas these will sit nice and flush to the door, and they just look really cool. Alright, so I checked on Holdfast website, and they actually give you care instructions on how to take care of one of these wheels, so that way it doesn't get matted down like this. So you want to keep it out of direct sunlight, which I definitely have not done. You can use a suede brush to help keep it from like clumping up, which I don't have one of those, but I can get one. And then the thing about suede is it doesn't react to the oils on your fingers very well. So whenever you use one of these, you want to use some kind of driving gloves or racing gloves. Well, I daily this car, and I'm not going to drive around with racing gloves all the time. So I'm actually going to keep using this wheel on the regular, and I'll swap out to the casino wheel whenever I'm at the track and I actually have racing gloves on. And then maybe someday when this car is no longer my daily, I'll actually use the casino wheel full time. And I actually would really like to reach out to Holdfast and see if they will reupholster wheels. I don't know if they will or not, but this wheel, it's not just any regular alpha wheel, it's actually a special edition wheel. It's really hard to see because it's probably faded. Well, there you can see it. This is a purple stitching on this. And then I also have the purple bolts to match. I have the pirate ship horn delete plate. Alright, well this is what the car currently has in it. For the driver's seat, we got Sparco QRTR, we got Simpson harnesses. For the passenger seat, I have an NRG Prisma seat, but I took it out so that way I can get to the back here. And on both sides, I'm running planted seat brackets. Let's see if you can see there. And I can't recommend these enough. The fitment is perfect, and they're super thick and heavy duty. They do weigh a lot, but the weight is down low and in the center of the car, so I can forgive that. And they also have a bracket for the seat buckle, so I'm running both the factory seat belts as well as harnesses, so that's really nice. They are a bit spendy, but I can't recommend them enough. They're amazing, and they have a ton of adjustability too, which is always nice. It might be hard to see just because we got lights on everywhere, but I have 20% window tint on all the windows. I got two 6x9 speakers back there, and those are the only speakers in the car. So we have some 6-inch speakers that are going to go in the doors here, and then we have the tweeters that are also going to go in the door. We're running a Holdfast steering wheel, NRG quick release, Momo hub adapter, Mishimoto shift knob, and then it has an aftermarket head unit. Eventually I do want to put an amp and a sub in here as well, but that's going to be further down the road. Really the only factory pieces that are left are the dash, the sun visors, the mirror, and the factory carpet. And that's about it. Alright, well most of the interior's in. We got the sail panels in, the rear parcel shelf, the whole like interior roof rail trim. So now first I'm going to work on the lower part of the plywood that's going to be going in here. You guys see how these rear, God, what are they called? Interior quarter panels are a weird shape. They go back and then they curve and then they go back again. Let me show you guys how I took the measurements to basically create this. So I could make a template, but screw that, that's going to take too much time. So I measured the distance between that wall and that wall, which is 41 inches. And this piece of wood I didn't have to cut down. It's a 4-foot piece, and that plywood is a 4-foot piece. So basically 41 inches, the plywood is 48 wide. So that means I gotta take 3.5 off of each side to fit in there. And then from like where the wood's gonna start to the front of this edge is 17 inches, but then this starts curving back at about a foot. So what I did was I marked a foot and I marked 17 inches and then I marked 3.5. So I'm gonna have to come and cut this straight and then kind of create kind of a curve there. Now I could also make a template for that part, but it's also going to be covered in felt, so you're not really going to see it if it doesn't look perfect. So I'm basically going to make a generous cut and then take this, throw it in the car, and make sure it fits. So let's get to cutting. So far it actually looks pretty good. That side might be able to be cut down more, but it's too deep that way, so basically I just need to cut a piece off of there, and actually I can measure by measuring from that gap, from that edge to there. But honestly, this is coming together. This should go pretty quick. I just got to wrap this in felt and then build the backing, and actually I'm gonna wait until I get both of them built. Alright, well, it does need 2 holes cut for the harnesses, but honestly this looks really good. I'm really happy with the fitment, and this front edge is flush with whatever the hell you call this, the back of the footwell. So I'm happy with this. I'm probably just gonna put 2 screws down to hold it down in place, and then I'll get to working on that back part. I thought this back piece was gonna have to be spaced way out because my toolbox there, I normally mount it back in the center in the middle, and it intrudes way into the trunk. However, I realized I can mount it up here, and I thought I couldn't because this arm comes down, but it turns out it just barely misses it. It's hard to see, but there's room there. It's not, it might be contacting, but it's got some movement. Alright, well, I literally just cut a rectangle out, and this isn't screwed down yet, but that's basically where it's going to be sitting. And then you can see I have the harnesses where they're going to be, and I don't need to clearance anything up there. So, alright, well, this is basically what it looks like from the back side, and I took that bottom box and one of those thin organizers and popped them up there, and they fit just fine. So I'm happy with where it's sitting. I can still fit plenty of Milwaukee stuff in the trunk here. None of these pieces of mounting wood are infringing on anything, so I think we should be good. Alright, well, after a lot of hard work and a lot of cutting and gluing and stapling, this is the final product, and I can honestly say I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. Like, this exceeded what I was hoping for, but it turned out exactly what I was picturing. I got my little pass-throughs for the harness, but they're real subtle, and it fits super good on the top. The bottom fits super good. It's really low and flush, and you know, it could be a little bit wider over here, but this is as wide as the board is, so there's not really anything I can do about that. And I got the rest of the interior in. So yeah, this is really exactly what I want. I'm hoping this doesn't get like super dirty all the time with dust and everything. It shouldn't in theory, and I can also vacuum it, but felt doesn't really come clean super easy. But needless to say, I'm happy. I'm calling it a night. I've done enough for today, so